Good morning, everybody. I'm Brenda Francis Thomas. I work for DSHS for the Office of Indian Policy, and I'm a member of the Lower Elwha Clallam Tribe. Welcome to the Friday session of the Alta Spring Summit. At this time, I am going to turn it over to Assistant Secretary Bill Moss for Alta. Bill?
Thank you, Brenda, and welcome everybody to day 3 of and our final day of our DSHS Alta Tribal Summit. My name is Bill Moss. I am the Assistant Secretary for the Department of Social and Health Services within the Aging and Long-Term Support Administration. What a fantastic couple of mornings we've had. The information has been great, and we think you'll find that today's information will be very useful as well. The focus today is what's unavailable to people who have support needs and how to access those programs that are available. Like most things, nothing happens without preparation. With vaccinations increasing and communities opening up, we are also beginning the exciting work of planning to get services up and running more robustly than what was available during the COVID era. I would say that our administration largely remained 100% operational throughout the pandemic, but some of our services we did do more telephonically. So getting back to in-home face-to-face assessments, hopefully getting back with adult day health where we are not rather than doing virtual meetings, where we're actually doing in-person meetings, particularly around mobility. Those kinds of things are things that we are all looking forward to. We are beginning to reach out to find host sites for our in-home aid and adult family home trainings, and we are taking the lessons of the pandemic and applying them to our work, whether that is telehealth services, new training methods, or expanded contracting with tribes. We have just ended the state legislative session, as I mentioned in my comments yesterday, and there have been some very good steps for the aging services. I've included a handout on the conference site. That handout goes through some of the highlights in terms of the bills that passed that will benefit seniors and individuals living with a disability, as well as some highlights from the final conference budget. So the legislation covered a broad array of areas, including the consumer-directed employer. You might recall this is the employer of more than 40,000 individual providers of personal care. It also addressed flexibility to address nursing homes and community setting inspections, as well as extended timelines for catching up certification and training for a number of home care aides, as well as certified nurses assistants. We also had legislation around the Washington Cares Long-Term Service and Supports Trust Tribal Inclusion, and an expansion of healthcare workforce eligibility and background checks. We are also grateful that the Healthcare Authority was able to move forward a fix for the glitch in the lead agency payment when working with Tribal Care Coordination health homes. Some of these areas will be discussed in today's session. Yesterday, we explored family, kinship, respite, guardianships, and legal planning for our care and for our family's care. Today, we will explore SOAR, S-O-A-R. If you're not familiar with the term, it stands for Social Security Insurance, Disability Insurance Outreach, Access, and Recovery. We have also been discussing over the past couple of years the consumer direction of Washington and the electronic visit verification. Both have been delayed because of the pandemic. Both systems have an impact on in-home workers and the clients they care for. And lastly, the new Washington Cares program will be explored. This is a first-in-the-nation employee-funded benefit for long-term services, and now has an opt-in or opt-out component for tribal employers. And we also, that was very great to see. And we also added individuals with developmental disabilities as folks that would be eligible for the program. I want to just step back for a minute and just note that, these types of conferences take a lot of work. And so I just wanted to say this summit would not be possible without the dedicated planning group that developed the agenda and reached out to speakers to make it all happen. As it became clear that once again, an in-person conference would not be possible, newly retired Ann Dahl, and I'm sure many of you remember Ann, took the lead and successfully led the planning team. I want to thank each of you on the planning team for your time and creativity in planning these 3 days. And I would like to also thank all of our presenters who have done such a fantastic job over the last couple of days. So again, thank you for your work to make this conference happen. I think we might be a little short on time, but I think if folks have questions, I think we have a minute or two for questions. Please put your questions in the chat box and be happy to address those. I want to thank you all for attending, and please enjoy today's final day of the summit.
Perfect. Thank you, Bill. Before we move on, I just want to quickly show everybody how to get to the handouts. I know Bill referenced a handout or a document, and a few of the presenters today have some handouts or at least their PowerPoints available for you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen just to show you how to get to those quickly here. Okay, let me make sure you can see this. Pardon me. Can you guys see my screen now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Let me just make sure this is what's live.
Okay, there we go. Good morning again, everybody. Due to some technical difficulties, we had to do things a little backwards. So I kind of got to feel like my mentor, Jamie Valdez, this morning, asking someone to do something at the very last minute. And Jonathan Arakawa is a member of the Lower Elwha Clallam tribe, the same tribe I am, and he has agreed to do an opening for us this morning. So I'm going to turn it over to Jonathan, and thank you so much for doing this.
All right, you guys can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. So I squatchy nischayacha alaikum sansna as quinus am cha kwa manku I chin kwano swai tia kwache mantu shot chok chins I chai tia aina manuk sans chai sas chai tia ahuingu. So, good morning, friends and relatives, honored guests, leaders, tribal and state leaders. My name is Jonathan Arakawa. My given name is Eliakim. Come from the Lower Elwha Clallam tribe, Clallam from Elwha. It's very good that could be here with you all. Just want to thank you all for your good work, very important work for our people. As you know, Brenda said, I come from the Lower Elwha Clallam tribe. I serve in different leadership roles nationally, regionally, and locally, representing our people. I'll start off with a prayer in our language, Nusklayamut, and so Masi Hanningsen Seats Siam Atia Ainak Hanningsen Seats Siam Atia Tangwangi Quo Hanningsen Seats Siam Atia Ahuingu Konangatungal Chio Chinama Tio Khanal Konangit sa Ahuingu Konangit sa Ahuingu Tia Ainak Tia Kap Mansanu Chachok Tia Ahuingu Strides. So I want to thank our creator today for this day. You know, thankful for our land and our water, and thankful for the people here and their important work. Asking our creator to help our people. As you know, we've had losses in our communities, and it's, you know, not always easy, you know, and I want to pay respects to the Bennett family here in Elwha, and I ask each and every one of you to keep them in your thoughts today, you know, because loss is never expected. and this is, this it's really, in consultation today, what you all are doing here, and it's very important that this type of consultation happens. And like I always say, when we do things like this, we're further amplifying the strength of our ancestors that run through our veins and unleashing that multi-generational strength, resiliency, and wisdom that our ancestors prayed for and thought we would lose. So I just pray for good blessings on you all today as you convene in this work, and that that all good things come out of this. So I'm just thankful, and I thank Brenda and the staff here for thinking of me and asking me to come forward today. It's an honor, more so than it is a privilege. So I, once again, pray good blessings on you all today, and that many good things come out of this conference. So Hot Nixon, thank you.
Thank you very much, Jonathan. I really appreciate that.